My dad was a Badger in the audience. My dad was a football player. My mom was a pom-pom girl. They were pretty precious. My dad was actually being scouted by the pros. He was pretty good. And my mom told him in no uncertain terms that she would not be spending her weekends in the emergency room, and so he decided to pursue a more traditional career working in hospitals. So they got married. A couple of years later, they were really living the all-American dream. They had the house, the 2 little girls, they even had the all-American dog named Charlie. And after a few years of life, their youngest daughter, me, started to have some physical issues. I started to walk and stand when babies normally do that sort of thing, but they said that it was almost as if I lost interest in standing or walking. My personality was changing, I was crying a lot, and my mom took me to the pediatrician, who said that I was fine. Said that it was probably a phase that I was going through, and I'm not going to tell you how many years ago that was, but suffice it to say that back then there was a different kind of code of ethics or code of conduct between doctors almost, and if one had given you an answer on something, the other doctors didn't really want to contradict them. So they were having a really difficult time finding someone to help them. And my dad, as I mentioned, was working in hospitals by then. He finally got someone's attention, and we embarked on this sort of medical scavenger hunt that ended ultimately at the Mayo Clinic in Minnesota, where I was diagnosed with a condition called spinal muscular atrophy. And it's a neuromuscular condition, kind of falls into the bucket of muscular dystrophy, which seems to be what people are the most familiar with. And my parents were told a lot of really awful things that day. They were told that I would in fact continue to lose the ability to stand or walk. They were told that I would lose all of my cognitive function, and they were told that I probably would not live to be 3. So you can imagine, a young couple with a pretty cute child being given this really devastating news, and the absolute experts in the field were telling them that there was no hope. My parents asked all the right questions. Was there medication? Was there a treatment? Was there a cure? And the answers to all of these questions were absolutely no. And despite that, they made up their minds that they wanted to know that if I was going to leave this earth earlier than they had intended, they wanted to know that they had done absolutely everything they possibly could to help me. So my dad, who had some medical training, he had been an athlete, knew something about anatomy, physiology, exercise, physical therapy. He started to work with me, and bit by bit, literally baby step by baby step, I started to improve. And my parents, in that process, as young as I was, became my first teachers and my first examples of determination and perseverance. So